Alright, hello there cast iron fans. As promised, today we're cooking some beef stew. Let's take a look at what our ingredients are to start with, because this is going to be some yummy stew. I'm looking forward to eating this, and I will put the entire recipe and cooking directions below. But let's get started. First off, of course, you can't have beef stew without beef, so right there I got 2 pounds of sirloin steaks cut up into cubes. Over here I've got 1 onion, coarsely cut. You can cut it as fine as you want. It's about a medium onion, and then on top of that I got 3 cloves of garlic that I've crushed. Down here I've got about 2 cups of celery. Got 8 tablespoons of flour. I got 4 large carrots chopped up and 4 large potatoes chopped up. And then over here we're going to be using some parsley, some salt and pepper. And because John didn't have beef stock, we're going to substitute the beef stock with 4 cups of water and 2 cups of beef bouillon. And we're going to be cooking all of this in the Lodge Dutch oven. Half of it we're going to cook on the stove, and then we're going to throw it in the oven. So let's get to it. Alright, so step number 1, I took 4 tablespoons of the flour, a teaspoon of salt, and a teaspoon of freshly ground black pepper, and basically coated all of my beef with it. And now what we're going to do is we're going to brown the beef. I've got my Dutch oven over here heating up. I got about a tablespoon of oil in there at the bottom. You can use whatever oil you choose. But this is what we're going to brown it in, and we're going to cook it in. I got my heat set to about a medium. You can go probably no higher, really. Ooh, that's looking lovely. It's starting to brown nicely. Now I'm just going to talk about the pan real quick here. This is a new acquisition for me. Of course, the lid I got new for Christmas. This is a cast iron Dutch oven that I got out of a storage unit, and I had to restore it. Basically, the inside they'd left it with the lid on. The moisture rusted the inside, so I stripped it down with some steel wool. You'll notice, you may or may not be able to see, but it's got some distortion in the seasoning. That's because I haven't seasoned it yet. I like to season my pans by actually cooking in them, and then I'll throw a secondary seasoning on top of that. Now, a lot of people would worry, well, I got stuff on the bottom of this pan that's sticking. The way we're going to overcome that, you'll notice here, it's starting to stick, it's starting to brown. This is going into the oven for an hour and 15 minutes. It's going to take all that stuff and bring it all back out into the broth, so you're going to get all that great yummy flavor. And you don't have to worry about screwing up the cast. After I cook this one, we're going to re-season this in the oven again after I clean it, and it should be in great shape. Alright, let's rock some onions and some garlic. Alright, so we got our onions and our garlic here in the pan. I'm just going to give this a really quick, good stir, and I'm going to put the lid back on. We're going to sweat these onions down. So you're not actually browning them, you're basically softening them until they turn translucent, and your garlic will follow in step. Should take about 2-3 minutes. Hooey dog, it smells like onions and garlic in here. I'm telling you, that onion has got some powerful mojo. Let's get this show on the road. The onions are about where I want them to be, just a little bit tender. Got them to release. Right now we're going to add the remainder of our flour, 4 tablespoons. I got a teaspoon of parsley. You can substitute thyme in there if you'd like, and I got a little extra pepper, probably about a 1/4 teaspoon, just because I like pepper. We're going to toss all that bad boy in there. We're going to get that mixed up. And now we're going to add our water. Now you can use 4 cups of beef stock or beef broth if you have it. Like I said, I don't. So I'm going to substitute 4 cups of water and 2 cubes of bouillon, and we're going to pour it in 1 cup at a time here. We'll stir that around. And it gets more lovely looking as we go. Alright, let's add that second cup. Whenever you're adding water to flour, always make sure you add cold water to hot flour. Then you don't get lumps. Never add flour, straight flour, to hot liquid. It just turns to lumps. You want to dissolve it in some water if you have to do that, if you need to thicken something. Of course, you can always use cornstarch if you want to experiment with this recipe. Feel free. It's not like I own it or anything. It's just my recipe for beef stew. And I'm going to let this cook just a little bit, and then we're going to add our beef, and we're going to put this in the oven. I got my oven right now preheating to 350 degrees. Once it hits 350, put it in the oven. Alright, we got the beef added in. So right now what we got is our flour, our beef, our onions, our garlic, salt, pepper, parsley, and or thyme. We're going to put the lid on that. It's going in an oven, 350 degrees, for an hour and 15 minutes. There it is after an hour and 15 minutes in the oven. Looking lovely. My wife said you can smell it outside. So now all we got to do, we're going to add in our vegetables, mix them in, cook it for about another hour in the oven, and it will be done. It's going to be good stuff. There it is with the vegetables mixed in. I'm going to put that in the oven. Alright, let's take a look at what we've done. I actually had to bake this for more than an hour. I baked it for about an hour and 20 minutes. The celery took a little longer to cook, but there it is. Look at that, and it is lovely. If you could smell it, you would be jealous. It's a nice, lovely beef sirloin stew, cooked in a nice cast iron Dutch oven. And it tastes amazing. I already had a bowl, I admit it. I cheated a little bit, but hope you enjoyed it. So see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.